Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we're going to be talking about all the Final Fantasy Precon commanders have been revealed, the face commanders as well as the side commanders here. So we've got two commanders all up for each deck, and I'm pretty excited about some of these. Look absolutely bonkers. Potentially CEDH level strength, while others are a bit more tame. Now, while you can't judge a whole deck by its commanders, in fact, some decks you might want to even put it in a completely different commander that's not related to it. You can get an idea of what the deck does at least, and some of these you are definitely going to potentially want to build as well, even if you don't use the actual deck. So let's start off with Revival Trance. So this one here is the Mardu one that is based around filling up your graveyard and then reviving your fallen heroes. So our two commanders here are Terra, Herald of Hope. So she mills your deck to get things into the graveyard. Whenever you go to the beginning of combat on your turn, you're going to mill two cards, and then she gains flying. So you get the flying to be able to get that evasion in, which works into her second part here, which is whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you can pay 2. So you need to pay 2 mana for it to work. When you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Now, in regards to Mardu commanders that revive, there's not a huge amount from what I know. Stuff like, Alicia and stuff along those lines are pretty good. There's a couple others that do similar-ish kind of things. Like Alicia is power 2 or less, but she does revive them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, while Terra doesn't. Terra just brings them back onto the battlefield. You can obviously do a kind of double strike and then pay 4, and then you're going to get to bring 2 things back. They come back tapped. It's not great. Like, it's a good revive and decent kind of revival from there, but I just don't think that she's going to kind of make or break the deck. She's not going to make the deck insanely amazing over the top, and she's still pretty decent. Like, she's not bad. I'm not going to say she's bad. I just think that she's decent, especially when you compare her to the other option, which is Celeste Rune Knight. And oh boy, she's crazy. So you're going to selectively discard cards from your hand when she enters. You get to discard any number of cards, then you're going to draw that many +1. So obviously this is immediately putting things into your graveyard. She does not have reanimation built into herself. She can't reanimate herself, but she does have this huge payoff for reanimation. Anytime one or more creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from the graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, put a +1 on each creature you control. So she goes infinite with any persist creature and a sacrifice outlet. Very, very easy to do, as well as the fact that you can selectively discard and stuff like that. So if you have ways to be able to flicker her, be able to, she dies and then comes back, just get additional entry, like her entering multiple times, Panharmonicon or something, then you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of things into your graveyard too. She's going to fill your graveyard. She's going to have a huge payoff for things coming back. She doesn't do the reanimation, but the rest of your deck can kind of focus on that and stuff. It's great. I think that she's great. One of the issues as well is that Terra can't actually reanimate her. I just realized, this is power 3 or less. Celeste is power 4. I don't know. Maybe that ties into the actual game or something. I'm not sure. But either way, I just think that she's a much better option and insanely great. Like, I love it. So for each of them, I'm going to show you these arts. So these are the full character arts. Celeste is amazing for this too. Like, that's great. Terra's is good. Like, I think people like the Terra one as well. I just love the Celeste one. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased against, big women who are fighting with swords, and they're just amazing. I don't know. Who knows? So moving on to the next one here, we've got Limit Break. So this one here is based around Final Fantasy VII. It's around equipment. So putting equipment onto your creatures and then raising your stats past 7. That's the whole Limit Break part of it. And then when your stats are above 7, you're going to get to do extra things. So the two examples we got is Cloud X Soldier as our face commander. I don't know if they're still going to face commander or if they're both like commanders together like they did it in Dragonstorm. I assume that this is like face commander, alt commander. So we've got he's just a big combat boy. He's just a haste 4/4 that's going to swing in, attach an equipment onto himself when he does it. When he attacks, you're also going to get to draw a whole bunch of cards, 1 card for each creature that is equipped and attacking. So that could draw, 2-3 cards each combat. That's pretty decent. That's a pretty decent kind of draw engine. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, you're also going to get to draw create 2 treasure tokens. So this is all meant to be like the limit breaking, pushing apart the limit, and the limit is power 7. So yeah, getting to create treasures if you have power 7 or greater, that's pretty good too. You can see like that equipment stuff here. Next up, we've got Tifa, Martial Artist. So she is the secondary commander here. And oh boy, again, like, oh, she is amazing. So if you go into combat and you hit 3 other players, keeping in mind that each, like your Tifa is going to get +1/+1 for each creature, each opponent you attack. So she's going to get +3 if you attack all 3 opponents. So she's just one of them. And then 2 other creatures just need to hit people. If you hit 3 players in your first combat with power 7 or greater, you're going to get 3 extra combat phases. The untap is not tied to that first combat phase. It's just whenever you hit with a creature power 7 or greater, you're going to get to untap. So first of all, that's like a pseudo vigilance potentially if you just hit one person still. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then secondly, you know, you're going to also just get that really great additional combat that then untaps and stuff. And melee stacks, if you've got something like Adriana, the one that does the melee stuff, the Boros one that does the melee stuff from Fiora, she gives all your creatures melee. Boom. Now Tifa's going to get to 10 power if you're attacking 3 people. It's actually insane. Yeah, Tifa's just really, really awesome. Really great commander. Doesn't tie into the equipment stuff. So if you want to tie into the equipment stuff more, Cloud's probably the way you go. But Tifa still has a really interesting kit and she'll work with equipments too, right? Like you don't even need to potentially equip her. You could have just equipped the other 2 creatures that you've got there. Because she'll hit 7 anyway, just by attacking 3 players. So these are the 2 kind of full character arts. Both great. Yeah, both great. All right. Now, if you guys are liking this content so far, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. We've got instant speed news. We're doing everything. Final Fantasy, as soon as it's getting revealed and sharing it with you guys. You know, this stuff came out earlier today. I've already done a video on it, and now I want to do one kind of summarizing all the commanders, which is what this is. All right, next we've got Counter Blitz. So this is around Final Fantasy X and is based around counters, whether it's not just +1/+1 counters either. Likely we'll see some Saga stuff potentially in here, maybe some like shieldy counters and stuff like that. And then, you know, we've got Titus here. So he is the face commander. He's going to move counters around. So at the beginning of combat, you get to move a counter from one creature onto a second creature. Pretty good. Keep in mind that the creatures also could be the new Saga creatures. I just thought about that actually. The new Saga creatures that are coming in, you could potentially use that for those. You can proliferate once each turn as well. Whenever one or more creatures you control with a counter on them deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card and then proliferate. That's good. Good draw engine. Good, you know, proliferation. It is only going to be, it does say do this only once each turn. However, it's only going to be on your turn because your creatures you control are on your turn. And, you know, it could be interesting with non+1/+1 counters. So moving shield counters around. As I said, sagas and stuff like that, which ties into our next commander for here. There's lots of really cool, interesting things you could potentially do here. Yuna, though, this seems to be a theme, is that I look at the 2 commanders, I'm like, this secondary commander is just fucking bonkers. I love him. So I've got Yuna Grand Summoner here. So she goes infinite with any pay 1 to untap auras. So, you know, I think I bought, what was it, Field? Wow. My brain is blanking out at the moment. Earlier on today, I bought a Freed from the Real. Amazing. You know, because it's just going to be pay 1, untap, tap, 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 tap. And now the next creature that comes in is going to have infinite +1/+1 counters onto it. It's absolutely bonkers. She also has like a built-in Ozolith style ability. Whenever a permanent goes into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had counters on it, you get to put that many +1 counters onto something. So it converts other counters into +1 counters. So if you got like a Saga that goes away, all those, like, you know, the Saga lore counters, they will turn into +1 counters onto a different creature that you've got there. So it works insanely well with Sagas because they always sacrifice when they get to the full counter. So, like, you know, 4, 5 counters, boom, that's turning into 4, 5 +1 counters. It's great. Absolutely great. All right, and those are the 2 full arts there. Again, great. I love these character arts. Personally, I'm just a huge fan of them. All right, we've got Scions and Spellcraft. So this is the last one here, Final Fantasy 14 here. Esper deck, it says be a master caster, card advantage, and control. But it looks like it's going to be based around like non-creature spells, so potentially instants and sorceries, but also artifacts and enchantments and stuff. And a lot of kind of control stuff as well. So it's got, so first up we've got Y'shtola, Knight's Blessed. So she has card draw each turn if someone lost 4 or more life. That's on any turn as well. As long as someone lost 4 or more life this turn, including yourself, you draw a card. That's really great. You get to cast a non-creature spell. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, keep in mind you don't need to pay 3. So if something's got a mana value that's reduced, say by the millions of different ways to reduce the cost of your artifacts, boom, you're going to get to deal damage to people. It's absolutely bonkers. It's crazy great. And then this is just some nice burn that's just built into it with that. And it's just, you know, not limited per turn either. So if you cast a whole bunch of things per turn, boom, 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 boom. As well as the fact that you're gaining life. As well as this is damage. So it procs like Curiosity, you know, anything that's a lifelink as well, she's going to then gain you life too. There's just a great amount of ways to take advantage of this and really, really abuse it. And then finally, we've got Graha Tia Scion Reborn, the secondary commander here. This is the first time I looked at the secondary commander. I'm like, I don't know if this is better than the primary commander. Both are really great, to be honest. So now, his ability is limited to once each turn. So he has, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can pay life and equal to that spell's mana value. Keep in mind that it's the mana value, not how much money you spent on it. So if you cheat things out, boom. If you do, you get to create a colorless hero creature token, 1/1 that has X plus 1 counters on it, based off of however much mana value it is and how much life you've paid. So if you cast instants, if you cast things with flash on other turns, boom, you're going to be paying a whole bunch of life. Keep in mind it's a maze, so you don't need to. You can pay a whole bunch of life and get some big creatures out. So this is a way for you to build up your board while also building up, you know, your enchantments or your like your artifacts or whatever you want to build to kind of pillow fort yourself up, control other people, as well as the fact that you get 2 cats as the commanders here. You get Y'shtola as a cat and you get Graha as a cat. There is an actual name for whatever race they are. It starts with M, but I can't remember it. I do not play Final Fantasy, so I am not sure entirely. But both of these two look amazing. Honestly, all of the commanders look great. I just think the secondary commander for so many of them just look even more bonkers than the primary commander, which is saying something because some of these primary commanders are really good too. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys as to what you think. Is there any that you're looking to build outside of the deck? Any of them that you're looking to get the Precon purely because of what the deck has? I hope you guys had a wonderful day and goodbye.